Ace Attorney happens to be one of my most cherished franchises, and it's definitely my favorite IP under Capcom's vast catalog. For years, 3 entries remained Japanese exclusive, so the arrival of the Ace Attorney Investigations collection, which finally localizes some of these entries, is immensely significant. I've been eagerly anticipating the duology since it became the only avenue of the series I'm somewhat unfamiliar with, and I've had the opportunity to experience it early, and now I'll share my thoughts.
Crazy pixel.
Ace Attorney Investigations collection includes 2 titles, Ace Attorney Investigations Miles Edgeworth and Ace Attorney Investigations 2 Prosecutor's Gambit, with the latter making its first official Western debut. Currently, I've experienced all of the first investigations while I've begun my foray into the fan-acclaimed sequel, though I'll only lightly tread on plot elements and such for the sake of this preview. The Investigations duology follows Miles Edgeworth, a rival prosecutor from the first Ace Attorney who developed throughout the original trilogy. These 2 particular entries occur after the events of Trials and Tribulations, making them the final titles before the circumstances leading to the 7-year time skip seen in Apollo Justice. What makes Investigations stand out above all else, besides its evident gameplay shift of focusing primarily on crime scenes rather than court proceedings, is simply the protagonist, Miles Edgeworth. From the opening minutes of the first case, even if you're unfamiliar with Edgeworth's characterization, it's abundantly evident that he differs inherently from the likes of Phoenix, Apollo, and Ryonosuke, who emanate constant anxiety about their capabilities in their inner monologues. And as for the package itself, Ace Attorney Investigations collection is an ambitious re-release thanks to its fully revamped presentation. Unlike every other entry, which always features backgrounds with realistically portrayed character sprites and a first-person or omniscient and third-person perspective, the investigation games allow manual movement on the maps. On the original DS releases, these titles used highly pixelated representations of the characters while navigating, but this remake has gone the extra mile. Besides having the original pixelated depictions as a selectable option, a newly crafted art style has been added here. Alongside the high-resolution backgrounds, this fresh option features the cast in a more realistic form, albeit in somewhat adorable miniature depictions. Still, everyone and everything looks substantially clearer, unironically making this collection experience wholly distinct compared to the originals. This isn't to bash the previous Ace Attorney re-releases by any means, but the Investigations collection feels like the most impressive re-arrival of the series to date. Another notable facet of the Ace Attorney Investigations collection is how both titles have a more transparently cohesive storytelling structure than many of the other games, which can frequently come across as episodic sans specific context. Edgeworth's adventures here follow a clear narrative-based through line from beginning to end, making the process far more personable than it would likely be otherwise. So if you're a fan of Edgeworth from the original trilogy, these focused titles might only enhance your appreciation tenfold. Ace Attorney Investigations collections marks a simultaneous capstone and potential turning point for the franchise. Still, as of now, it's vital to emphasize the games themselves and not overlook them rather than just honing in on the implications this package embodies. From what I've experienced, Ace Attorney Investigations collections is a definite high point of the series, feeling like a natural extension of the pre-established characters and events. I'm looking forward to playing the entirety of both titles for a complete assessment ahead of the collection's public release on September 6, 2024 on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Thanks for watching. This video is brought to you by our supporters on Patreon. NoisPixel is run by a group of gamers providing independent gaming coverage through news, reviews, previews, and more. Check out our Patreon to help support our continued growth and subscribe to keep up with all our future content.
Noisy pixel.